Elon Musk's intelligence and quick wit make his comebacks legendary. Let's dive into the moments he completely shut down woke nonsense and silenced his critics. Grab your popcorn. This is going to be good.
Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. You also you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you?
I mean, this is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
You absolutely are, but I'm trying to understand why you do, because you have to know it's got to hurt the company. Are there Tesla owners who say, I don't agree with his political position, and I know it because he shares so much of it? Or are there advertisers on Twitter that Linda Yaccarino will come and say, you got to stop, man?
I don't care. I'll say what I want to say, and if the consequence of that is losing money, so be it.
You've got to respect the guy. Nothing slows him down. Elon Musk is focused on making a real impact, and no amount of corporate pressure will shake him. Watch as he delivers a fearless response to woke companies pulling their ad from a platform.
There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go yourself. Is that fair? I hope it is.
How do you think then about the economics of X? Part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift. Maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. What do you do?
F-Y.
I understand that, but there's a reality too.
It's crazy how some people hate Elon just for speaking the truth. Woke culture is creeping into everything. Movies, video games, you name it. And it's getting out of control.
It's really annoying when the video game gets interrupted by some DEI work bullshit. And I'm like, Jesus, I was playing a video game here. Can you just leave the video games alone? You don't want to do things that damage art. So it breaks you out of the story.
Exactly. Everyone should have a right to speak freely without fear of being silenced just because their opinions don't align with the mainstream. Open discussion fuels progress. Censorship only holds society back.
So do we want a humorless society that's simply rife with condemnation and hate? At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, hateful. It basically gives mean people a reason. It gives them a shield to be mean. Armored in false virtue.
We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship.
Yes, you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You want censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's true. I think that there's right and wrong.
That's typically how the bullshit goes, you feel me?
When you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. I think that's important.
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and if people want the law changed, they should spoke to their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law. If you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors. And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech. And freedom of speech only is relevant when people you don't like say things you don't like. Otherwise, it has no meaning.
When it comes to flying a plane, skill and competence are the only things that should matter. Nobody cares about a pilot's identity. They just want someone who can land the plane safely. Prioritizing anything else is a disaster waiting to happen.
Do you believe that women and minority pilots are inherently less intelligent and less skilled than white male pilots?
No, I'm just saying that we should not lower the standards for them.
Okay, but there's no evidence that standards are being lowered when it comes to the airline industry.
You've repeatedly said that there's no evidence that standards are being lowered, and watch the replies showing all the evidence that it is.
Replies on social media or on Twitter are not necessarily fact and evidence.
No, they will.
That's people.
They will cite. Okay, they will cite in the replies to this. You will see how often the information is cited, showing that indeed there are significant cases where standards are lowered. I believe that Boeing changed to include DEI as a fundamental executive incentive. In my view, it should be purely about passenger safety.
Okay, but do you understand how by saying just that standards are being lowered, that you're implying that they're being lowered because people are less skilled and less intelligent, and you're talking about people of color and or women?
I'm saying we should not lower standards.
But you don't.
It's wild how careful you had to be just to avoid getting censored. Content creators should be free to make what they want without constantly walking on eggshells. People appreciate those who keep it real despite the risks.
First of all, what is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
Yeah, so I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic, and anything that is that results in the suppression of free speech. So those are two of the aspects of the woke mind virus that I think are very dangerous. You can't question things, even the questioning. So another way to almost synonymous with cancel culture. And obviously, people have tried to cancel you many times.
Many times.
Yeah, I mean,
every week.
Yeah.
From left and right. I've had it from both sides.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people. Maybe it's a bigger group now.
Yeah.
Who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I
Right.
don't think of you as a conservative.
I'm definitely, yeah, like I at least think of myself as a moderate. So I mean, at least I spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy, electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff to help save the environment. That's not a
Classic double standard. They love dishing it out, but can't handle the heat when the tables turn. The second they are challenged, they either play dumb or act like it's not their problem. It's honestly embarrassing to watch.
I'm literally asking you about, you changed the label, the misinformation label. There used to be a policy, then it disappeared. Why do that?
It's no longer an issue. Because the BBC called itself all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and side effects of vaccines. Not reporting on that at all. And what about the fact that the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change the editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview I've had with BBC.
Oh, you thought it wasn't?
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial policy, I want to make.
Get out of here, man. I'm fine.
Massive respect to Elon for standing his ground. He believes in free speech, and if advertisers can't handle an open platform, that's on them. He is not about to compromise his principles just to keep them happy.
Because all this controversy, I believe, as you know, has made X less appealing to advertisers. About half of them have left the platform. You call advertisers that left X.com and said they were oppressors. You've even gone as far as saying it publicly that they can go F themselves or go F themselves.
if they're going to force censorship on the company before advertising, then obviously I find that unacceptable.
You find it unacceptable. Why is that not a form of free speech? They are free to advertise where they want. They're not beholden to. They're not obligated to advertise.
They're not obligated.
On X.com.
Right.
So how is that not free speech?
So that's. Whereas the other platforms will censor on behalf of advertisers, the X platform will not.
Okay. So, but you think you don't think it's okay for them not to advertise with or have their content or their advertisement next to something that is fake? Or
that is a different question. You can absolutely choose where next to which content do you want your advertising to appear. Absolutely, of course, and we have I think very good ad placement control in this regard.
So you said if they kill the company, it's them, but doesn't the buck stop with you? I mean,
John, I have to say, choose your question carefully. There's 5 minutes left.
Okay, but so
Is this the question you want to ask?
Same question as you said that they are killing the company, but you're the head of the company. The buck doesn't stop with you?
I acquired X in order to preserve freedom of speech in America, the First Amendment, and I'm going to stick to that. And if that means making less money, so be it.
Taxes are necessary, sure, but when they're misused or wasted on things people don't support, it's beyond frustrating. It's not just about paying your share, it's about having a say in where that money goes. And right now, a lot of people feel like they don't.
Everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Well, not everyone was a slave.
No, everyone was a slave.
Okay.
But no, all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of, simply because the color of your skin.
What advantages did my color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't.
If we keep talking about it nonstop, it will never go away.
You get taxed on what you own, you get taxed on what you buy, and you get taxed on what you own. And it's like, okay, this is, you know, taxes, and and then what does it get spent on? A bunch of the stuff gets spent on you don't even agree with. So that's why we need to reduce the size of government and just spend less money and let the people keep a lot more of their hard-earned money.
Spot on. Woke culture has way too much influence, and Elon isn't afraid to call it out. If you agree, check out more videos on screen now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Like, wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal, which is not cool. I mean, Chappelle, like, what?
Flower.
I mean, try to shut down Chappelle? Come on, man. That's crazy.